why won't this be like a Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson thing for you, and you'll be able to sustain and reign?
All them belts, the 5 belts that I have, you know, the undisputed, unified champ, whatever you want to call it. I don't care about all that. I don't care about the glitz and glamour. Even the media here, you know, and doing all this and being in the lights. I want to be in the trenches. I want to go train. You will find me in the gym tonight. Body sore, cuts, bruises, but I'm putting in the work non-stop.
You're going to train tonight?
Yes, 110%. I wanted to train the night of the fight, and my team had to stop me. That's the kind of fighter I am. You saw a small bit of ferocious Kambosos in that fight against Lopez. There is so much more. That was maybe a quarter. And they say when you win your first belt, you get about 30% better. I want 5 of them. So,
how did you feel with T.O. saying he felt robbed? How did you feel about that?
It was his dad. So we can't believe anything his dad says anyway. So
does it just come down to who's going to bring the biggest check when it comes to if it's Gervonta or Devin?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily, because we saw it with the whole Triller issue, problems there. And then obviously went to Matchroom. It's never about money for me. Never about money. It's about legacy and what I believe in and what I think will be the best fights. My fight with Lopez, I believe it's going to be fight of the year. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury is a great fight as well. Maybe performance of the year. Upset of the year probably. I mean, so at the end of the day, you know, it doesn't mean that who's going to pay me the most. Yeah, the money's great. But again, the legacy is extremely important to me. And to show that he just beat Lopez. Now he's going to fight, you know, a Haney or a Tank or a Lomachenko. There's no easy tune-up fight for me now. There's no, I got the belts, let me have a few tune-up fights in Australia. Fuck no. I'm coming for
because usually
the rest of them.
If it makes
and I will
sense,
fight all of them. I am going to fight all of them, and I'm going to beat all of them.
Because usually if it makes sense, I'm thinking right away the money. So, but what does that mean then if it's not about just the biggest check?
It shows the fighter and the warrior I am. Like I said, I feel like I'm fighting this week. I swear I feel like I'm fighting this week, regardless of the cuts and all that. And if someone pulls out, maybe I might. This means a lot more than just money.
Based off what you've seen up to this point, right, with everybody else in the lightweight division, who do you feel gives you the toughest task, the toughest matchup?
Look, styles make fights. Styles make fights. So at the end of the day, I can't say. Lopez gave me a great fight. To be honest, I didn't feel that it was technically a hard fight. I love the trenches. I love the warfare. I love the blood, the getting knocked down. I live for that. So even I told my coaches the next day, you know, and I haven't even watched the fight yet properly. I said, you know, that didn't really feel like a war, and they looked at me like stunned. What are you talking about? That was a war. But so much more for me to do in the fights I want to be in. So you know, it's an exciting time.
Canelo's paving the way of being sort of the most active world champion we've seen in recent years. Now it looks like people pick up a belt and they might fight twice a year. You're talking about just wanting to fight, and you feel like you could fight this week. Are we looking at a world champion who will be fighting 4 or 5 times a year?
No, not 4 or 5 times. That's way too much. You got to remember we were preparing 12 rounds.
Yeah.
And you know, Lopez, now one of the other big names. And so you need the right preparation, and it takes a lot out of you. So I'll be looking 2 times, 3 times, somewhere there. It just depends. Depends how the fights go. Depends how I feel. You know, I'm in control now, so I pick and choose when I want to fight and what I want to do. But again, the fans can see the kind of fighter I am, the warrior I am, what I do in the ring, and you know, it's full respect to the whole division. I love this division. It's a great division, and what better division to rule?
How do you expect Davis's fight to go Sunday?
Yeah, look.
And you'll be there too, right?
It's a good fight. Yeah, possibly I will be there as well. It's a good fight. I believe maybe Isaac Cruz might not be accustomed to that moment, but again, he's a pit bull. He's tiny, but he can fight, man, too. He'll come. But it just depends. Styles make fights. You know, no one believed what I would do to Lopez. No one believed I'll put him on his ass in the first round. No one believed I'll be able to outbox him and outpower him and speed him and maneuver him and, you know, bust him up the way he's never been busted up before in his life. So that shows what I bring to the table, but it shows that styles make fights as well. So
speaking of styles make fights, have you assessed at all that maybe Davis is the better style matchup? He's a shorter guy. You outbox T.O. This guy's a puncher.
No, he's not. Me and Haney are literally the same size. You know, he's got a little bit thicker shoes on today. He learnt from me when me and Lopez went face to face the first time. I got the flats today, the nice leather shoes. So we're the same size. We're all around the same size. So no, that doesn't mean nothing. If it's going to be a fight, it's going to be a fight.
George, the division's so hot yet we've still got a lot of people in the 135 division where they're talking about people moving up to 140, and it's kind of like there's a lot of people half obsessed to push themselves up to 140. Let's just say, fast forward 6 months and you were to get all the belts together and beat perhaps Devin or Jojo, would you still look to cement your place at 135 and keep going and keep digging out that division?
Yeah, look, I feel great at 135. You know, there is still a lot of unfinished business at 135. And again, if one of these guys, Lomachenko, has 2 losses, Lopez has obviously his first loss, one of these guys this weekend will lose. What's to say that I don't fight one of them guys and give them a shot if they've come back and look good? Why do we got to protect this zero? Why is every fighter scared to take a risk? I've taken risk after risk, put my life on the line. What, because I care about a zero? No, because I care about my legacy. And if I fall chasing greatness, so be it. I'm the man in the arena, not the fan that's criticising or the media that's criticising. We're the guys that are in the arena. So we've got to get rid of this zero. I'm 20-0, I'm undefeated, but we really have to get rid of this zero, bullshit, because you'll see even more fights. Look at the Hagler, the Hearns, the Rands, all these legends. Sugar Ray Leonard, they fought and fought and fought. Why can't we do this? Who's to say Lopez doesn't come back and fight, maybe fights a Haney or a rematch with Lomachenko, and then he beats him and
you fight again, right?
And then we fight again, it is what it is. It's a fight game.
Do you feel it's more likely, though, that you will have a homecoming title defense before jumping in there with one of these guys?
No, there will be a homecoming defense in front of 80,000 people, but it's going to be against the big names. I told you, I'm not here for tune-up. I'm not here for tune-up fights. Look at me, I feel great, I feel fresh. I'm ready. I'll fight this weekend right now if I have to. I'm not here for tune-up fights. Fuck that shit.
George, in terms of...
George, how you doing? Robert Coleman with GMT in the Red Corner Box. How you doing?
Very good.
I was calling, I was wanted to ask you saying you're using these fights, the Tank fight, this fight, and also maybe the Loma fight back in New York as like a scout.
Yes.
Do you have like a little time frame of when you're going to make that decision? Because like I said, you got all the chips. They all got to come see you.
Yeah, look, I can take as long as I want right now, unless a mandatory pops up.
Right.
But no, the decision will be made very, very soon. Obviously, they're all fighting over the next few weeks. Then we have Christmas, and I've been away from my kids a long time. But by then, when these fights are all wrapped up, I will have a very solid, person in my head.
Yes,
and once the Christmas and the festivities obviously end for everybody, the whole world shuts off, the boxing world shuts off, then there will be a very major, announcement.
Do you think it'll be difficult at all when you get back home, a star, to stay the same old George?
I'm a big name in Australia, regardless. Before this fight, wherever I go, I get stopped and asked for photos and have to, be in the limelight. So really, nothing changes. Yeah, a little bit more, but I got my kids, I got my family. I stay low key, and I feel most at home when I'm in the gym. And I can't wait to be back in Sydney in my home gym there, where I'm in the dark, I'm preparing, I'm with we have the young amateurs with us, because I see the hunger from them and they see the hunger from me. We've got the upcoming pros in there. That's where I love to be. I love to be in the trenches. There is no bright lights. Even though I'm here in Vegas and the bright lights, this is not my home. My home is in the gym, in the trenches, in the dark.
George, have you got any bucket list things? Obviously, we'd love to see you fight in front of 80,000, 70,000 in Australia. Have you got any things now as world champion that are kind of bucket list things you want to tick off your career? Venues perhaps you want to fight in other countries outside of Australia?
Honestly, I've fought in every major big venue there is in the world. I fought here, Madison Square Garden, MGM Grand. I fought in Madison Square Garden twice.
Wembley.
I fought in Wembley Arena. I fought in Kuala Lumpur, in Athens. I fought in Australia, and the next step is to do a stadium fight in Australia. That is the bucket list. Yeah. But just keep winning, man. Yeah. Keep winning. Keep showing my greatness, and keep motivating. The next champion, the next young guy coming up, the next kid that's watching this interview.
Do you feel pretty soon you'll stand alongside Costa Tszyu as the greatest fighter from Australia?
No disrespect to Costa Tszyu, a legend of the sport, but was not born in Australia. I am born in Australia. I've come through the Australian ranks, the amateur system, the local club shows, the selling the tickets, the getting the commission, $5, $10, the tables. That there, come overseas, no big promoter, fighting on the undercards, first fight of the night. I fought Mickey Bay, first fight of the night. You know what I mean? So, I am the greatest fighter in Australian history. No disrespect, some will believe it, some won't, but I know where I stand. No one's ever done what I've just done and bring him back home. And there's more to do. I'm only 28. The way I look after my body, I don't drink, I don't party. The way I look after my body, I can go till I'm 40, maybe longer.
And lastly, George, you know, you fought a beautiful fight, better than just about anybody thought.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it seemed as though people felt T.O. didn't fight up to his best capabilities. Do you feel that's true at all?
No. He came fully prepared. He came fully prepared, and you could hear him in the press conference and the interviews, and how well he prepared and trained. Shit, he had fucking 9-10 months to prepare for the fight. You know, regardless of the COVID and everything else. He had 9-10 months to make the weight, and he made the weight. So, no, he came prepared. He just wasn't prepared for what I bring, and the dogfight, and the warrior I am. And to get hit with whatever shots he brought on. And again, his team in his corner, they said it as well, that any other lightweight taking these shots goes down, but I made it still. And again, he said that. That's first hand from his corner. When he put me down and I got up and I finished that round with 1:45 to go, and I finished that round strong. And he came back to his corner, he said it. He goes, I can't put a dent in this guy. This guy's made of steel. And then I come back around 11 and 12 and do what I did and show the stamina and conditioning. It's a different breed. I'm a different breed, and like I said, these belts will make me even hungrier.
Do you think he fought the fight with ego? Perhaps there was a lot of like quick early hooks, as if he thought, if I land, I will knock George out essentially.
Not ego, emotion, but that is because I got under his skin. I got in his head, you know, and that's what I've been doing for many years. But they thought that they could take me out. The power, whatever he had there, the Lomachenko fight that he had so much success in, the knockout against Commey, they thought that they would take me out. But little did they know, I am made of steel.
And got a better effing defense than we thought too.
They don't realise, and my sparring partners, if they listen to my sparring partners in the interviews, man, we can't touch Kambosos. The movement, the sharpness, the angles. Done 250 rounds with Manny Pacquiao. You know, man, what's these lightweights gonna do to me?
We should have known.
You know what I mean? But if you knew, you would have betted on it. You know, man, maybe some of you did. You would betted big money. At one stage, I was, I think 12-1 odds here in Vegas. So look, it is what it is. And again, probably going into the next fight, you know, whoever it is, I'll be an underdog again. But I thrive on being the underdog. I love it, and you know, I'm always in the dark preparing.